Hello, Michael. Nice to have you here. So we have a few minutes to talk about your new book, The Flip Side of Free, published by MIT Press at the beginning of this year, 2021. So let me ask you a first broad question. Why is the topic of this book important, and to whom?
Great question. First of all, thanks very much for your review, and it's an honor to be the first one that you're reviewing. I think that the book is really aimed at all of us who are using the internet and increasingly relying on it for our day-to-day activity. It was, of course, started before the pandemic, and now our reliance is even greater. And I really wanted to explain the economics behind why not just the services are free. I think most people understand that what they're trading free services for their data, although there's a lot more detail, I think, to help fill in some blanks. But also, why is it that for the most part, our usage is unmetered? When we sit down to watch a movie over the internet, we don't have to worry about the cost of the data. It's usually unmetered. We can go on public Wi-Fi's. So that's important. And also how these global standards were developed, spread around the world, and they're also generally all created for free with free volunteer work and available for free. Then, as I was writing, people started to be concerned more and more about what I call the flip side. And so I focused more on privacy, cybersecurity, and the market power of the big companies to help explain that and the economics behind it. And finally, I wanted to a reminder that not everybody's online, not everyone is experiencing those issues. So there's a chapter on the digital divide and the importance of bridging that gap.
Yes, just about that chapter 8 on digital divide, which is at the very core of the missions of Portulans Institute. You seem to foresee a possible aggravation of digital divides. Could you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. I mean, data is really the thread that runs through the book. Data is what's being gathered by these companies with these free services that's gathered because all of our access and usage is free. So there's a lot of data being gathered, and that's really the focus of privacy concerns, cybersecurity attacks, and the platform for the big internet companies. But the worry is that as the digital divide is bridged, and I have no doubt it will be, there's still going to be a data divide, that countries just aren't gathering enough data right now. There's not enough to monetize, there's not enough to offer the services, and that's going to be the next phase of the issue, is bringing the opportunities of the internet, the services, the opportunities to create companies to everyone all around the world.
And the book finally is also a call to action. So what do you see as the one or two key action priorities to address current and future internet challenges?
Well, I think that the digital trust is the big one that we're facing now. Because of all the privacy concerns and cybersecurity attacks, there's a lot of mistrust. And that's really translating into some noticeable issues. I mean, there are these, in a lot of countries, there are these applications that can be used for contact tracing, for COVID, that would have helped bring the pandemic under control by seeing who's been in contact with them once they have a positive test. And there was a great reluctance to adopt it because of a lack of trust. What's going to happen with the data? Is it private? So I think that's the big issue that has to be addressed. And in the book, I talk about the fact that we're basically at where the car industry was maybe 50, 40 years ago, regulations, and that we should look at industries like that, how they developed new technologies, created competition in creating safety, and use government regulations and more awareness to build up the car safety. And a similar thing has to be done for digital trust.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Michael. So be sure that if you ever think of writing another book about trust, we'll be happy to review it here. And in any case, I recommend very strongly again reading The Flip Side of Free. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.